Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Little different kind of review today. Nice. But you guys know I have this truck. You can check it on my channel. Anyways, I've been beating the snot out of this truck. Thought I'd do a review finally. Now, $255.97 Canadian plus tax and real dirt cheap shipping because it's shipped by weight. 2.4 gigahertz brushless Pro Edition. Monster truck. HSP is the brand of this thing. 4-wheel drive. Many alloy upgrades with it already and many more available right from their website. You can shop around on the internet for other places if you like, but I like, supporting the business I buy from too at the same time. But of course, if there's something they don't have that somebody else does, I will go elsewhere because I want something. But anyways, they do carry replacement parts for all their stuff, and they do carry a lot of upgrade parts as well in stock, which is awesome. You can even get a carbon fiber chassis for this thing and a few other carbon fiber parts, which is sick, or aluminum chassis if you want to go aluminum, and so on. It does come with a steel spur and pinion set, which is great because the brushed versions come with plastic spur and brass pinion. Now, you have an alloy upper deck, which is your chassis support as well. Dual alloy coil spring adjustable shock absorbers with more travel, 55% more travel. They are progressive rate springs, which is fine. They're very suitable for this truck. They work extremely well. Front and rear diffs, of course, they're all metal diffs. You have all steel dog bones all the way around, and they're cheap too. Like to replace like even a pair of dog bones, they're really super cheap. Like I think I paid, what was it, like $5 or $6 or something? I don't know. They're ridiculously cheap, anyways. So I ordered 2 sets in, just to have some spares just in case. Anyways, we've got a mid-mounted lipo that's all on the opposite side of the truck. It's actually the left side of the truck where the lipo mounts. And it comes with a 2-cell 3500 milliamp 30C hard shell case rechargeable, and it has water seals on the cables, so I would imagine waterproof hard case. The Imax B3 LiPo battery charger. We're going to have a chat about that one. 3300 kilovolt motor, very powerful, very fast. 60 amp, easy run, waterproof Hobby Wing ESC. Has lots of programming on it. Got the fan there to cool it. On 2S, this thing is incredibly peppy. Like, it's nuts. I love it. New front and rear 5-screw diffs with bevel gears, of course. 4-wheel A-arm, independent adjustable suspension. 8 shocks on this puppy, and they're full-bodied aluminum shocks. Full ball bearings in this too, by the way, guys. I mean, you're getting a ton for your money. Unidirectional MTX4 tires. They are great tires. I've got a used set of tires. You guys seen them on my Deadbolt with the white rims. I got one set of them now on my Rustler, and the other set is just in storage. So I had different rims on now. But I've been beating the snot out of those used ones, and the treads are still like 90% there after all the beating and, burnouts on sand and in tarmac. And they're a very good compound. They're not too soft, they're not too hard, and they don't turn into pizza cutters too easily, which is great because pizza cutters suck. So these things will not pizza cutter too easily on you. They're really good rims. They're actually good on a lot of machines. It's got a ABS monocoque chassis. You can upgrade to aluminum or carbon fiber. They do have lots of upgrades for this thing. 6 kilogram waterproof servo. Now I did find the servo was a little on the slowish and weakish side, but hey, it's a servo and it is waterproof, right? But you could actually stand to put a better servo in. I think a 9 kilogram 2075 track servo would work pretty good, but I think the ultimate would be a 15 kilogram metal geared servo, which I'm actually going to throw one in because I think that would be better. It'd be a lot more faster, more authority in the steering, etc. But otherwise, I mean, if you're just a light basher, this 6 kilo servo will do you just fine. But I'm a hardcore basher. I like to really beat the snot out of my stuff. Fly Sky 2 radio equipment basically is what comes with this thing. Pistol grip. You've got steering trim, throttle trim, steering reverse, throttle reverse, dual rate control for your steering. Your typical Fly Sky 2 radio, which, bazinga, it's right here, look at that. Check out those 6 shocks. You got all 8 of them, all alloy bodied there with the thumb screws to adjust them. Your chassis brace, there's your steel spur. Metal drive shaft as well, which is awesome. There's your main top view. I figured doing a review this way, you get to actually see some really sick close-up pictures of this thing. And it's a different way of doing a review for you guys. You guys know I have the truck. Now, the polycarbonate body is thicker than normal, which has some good points, but also has bad points. It breaks a lot easier in cold weather than a thicker polycarbonate, or thinner polycarbonate. That's a tongue twister, you know that? Blah, blah. Okay, polycarbonate. Thinner polycarbonate body will flex a little bit more and break a little less easier in the cold than what a thicker shell does. This thicker shell does break easier when it's really cold. Now, it wasn't all that cold yesterday. It was like minus something or other outside. And I took some pretty hard bashes with this thing and flips and that. And I did break a little bit at the back end of my body, but I managed to find most of the pieces and repair it and did the little JB Weld trick like I did to my wife's hot rod body there. And so at least it ain't going to break in the same place twice. And I even trimmed the back end to flatten it to allow it to flex more now at the back. So it should be good and perfect now, at least for a while. But bodies are only 21 bucks a piece for this thing with the Jeep body version. They've got many different bodies there, and some you may need different body mounts, some you might not. 110 scale, of course, 15 3/4 inches long, 12.2 inches wide, 7.3 inches tall, and 1.5 inches ground clearance. Now, I did say I do like to hardcore bash my machines, correct? Yes, I do. And I will be putting this thing through the paces more and more as spring and summer rolls around, when I can get a lot more traction on the ground to hit the ramps and stuff with. But from what I've been beating on it with so far, and the flips I've taken, crash I've taken, I've come down, I've teetered it, I've slammed right onto that servo side, and so it does have a very good servo saver in it, which is awesome. It does take a good beating, but it is not designed or intended for, check out my epic skate park bash for my Slash and Rustler. Don't do that sort of stuff with this truck. It will not live, okay? It is not made for that kind of extreme stuff, and I will not be getting that extreme with it. But I am going to push it a little bit beyond what the design limits are, okay? So just to see how things go, because I'm curious and I gotta know. Anyways, overall, really good truck. Very fast and peppy, even on the 2S. It runs 3S. You do have to change the fan in it to run 3S on it. I think for winter time, though, you should be able to just unplug the fan and run a 3S, because winter, you're going to fill it up with slush and snow, and you shouldn't have a fan connected anyways when you're doing that, because you burn your fans out that way. So I think winter time wise, you should be able to get away with 3S and without a fan on there. But hey, it's up to you if you want to do it. I know I'm gonna definitely disconnect the fan when I go to 3S, even in the summertime, just because I don't feel like buying a 12-volt fan, and I already know that these ESCs so far have had no issues running 3S without a fan, because I have 2 of them here, and I blew up my fans, and I've run 2 and 3S and not had any issues. But I do let the things cool down for at least 20 minutes before throwing the next pack in. So, I'm kind of cautious that way. But I haven't had issues. But I'm not telling you to do what I do either, because you might be the unlucky one. But so far, knock on wood for me. Now, the battery charger, I don't like it. It sucks. My wife has the same problem. She's got the same charger. And we both have the same problem, that after a couple hours, the lights come on, all 3 of them will flash green, and that means an error. So I figured, okay, well, let's pull the battery off. And these chargers have something about 7.58 volts. It's all they want to jam in, and then they error out. And that's hers and mine on the same batteries. She's got the same battery I do. And so we thought, well, that's kind of fluky and weird. Is there a problem with these batteries maybe? And of course, no. We've used the batteries on my good hobby grade Imax B6 Charger and have no issues whatsoever. And my team grade hobby charger does not like these fully max batteries for some reason. It won't charge them right, but it charges everything else. My Imax B6 charger, though, charges the stock battery with this perfectly. Now, this company here, RC Hobbies Outlet, if you're going to buy from them, okay, they are in Ontario, Canada, but wherever you buy, get yourself an Imax B6 charger. I've had mine for a couple of years now, and it works great, especially on my SMC batteries and a lot of my other aftermarket Chinese batteries. I've had no issues, and works fine with these fully max batteries too. And they are a good battery. Hard case, waterproof rubber seals on them. Pretty good little batteries. I'm pretty impressed with the fully max batteries. I know some people have had problems with fully max before, and you know, that puts a hate on, right? Well, you could have a problem with a max amps battery and get a hate on. You know, the thing is some stuff can get fluky sometimes, right? So far, I've put several packs through my truck. My wife's done it with hers. These fully max batteries are really good and solid. They're not even thinking about trying to puff up. Okay, now I did pull a little experiment too with the zippy pack that I have, which is a 5200 mAh, and I hooked it into this Imax B3 charger. Same damn thing, 7.58 volts. So I thought, let's giggle this. Let's plug it back in and see if it finishes charging. Sure enough, red lights come back on to indicate charging, and only two of them because it's a 2S. The charger does 2S and 3S, and it finished charging it. 3 solid green lights, which means charged. Checked it on my lipo tester, 8.53 volts. So it slightly overcharged the battery. Okay, that's not necessarily a good thing because we shouldn't be going past 8.4, but 8.53, it's not a crisis yet. Okay, so far it's good and it's not puffing it. So I thought, let's try this with the fully max, shall we? Back on we go. Comes off 758. What the hell? Plug it back in, finish the charge off. All 3 green lights come on. Same damn voltage, 8.53. What the hell is with 8.53 with this thing? But it did charge it, and no puffing. But not a good idea to overcharge your lipos, because that's when stuff can go wrong. Okay, you never ever overcharge your lipos. It's very nasty. So I'm going to say that it's very difficult to get 2 chargers defective, exactly the same problem, and doing exactly the same thing. I don't really trust this charger, to be honest, on these particular batteries. I'm going to be testing out the stock charger that comes with the truck on a few different other brands of batteries I have here. And if I do find a battery that it likes, or that likes it, then I'll let you guys know. But until then, you'll be waiting for that video to happen. Now, for those who love your star ratings, I'm sorry, I really have to be nice about this. I'm going to have to give this thing... I'm doing a 3 3/4 out of 5. I was thinking about going 4, but you know, the charger is kind of a bit of an issue for me. The steering servo is only a little bit of an issue. 6 kilogram, a little bit weak for me. It might be okay for, you know, somebody who's a noob, but just I find it's a little slow and a little weak. I can't pick on the body shell. I just can't. It's the nature of the beast in winter. Nature of the beast in summer too. Just takes more harder hits in the summer before it breaks. The brushless system is beautiful. Dog bone system, great. You can get CVDs for this thing, by the way, and I'm ordering a bunch of them in. Suspension, great. The whole build quality of the machine is really good. You know, you do have a ton of adjustability for ride heights and stuff. You know, you could jack this thing up a little higher if you want to for more ground clearance, which means more bashable for ramp jumping. It is fast. I don't know how fast, but it is fast. It's peppy. The stock setup of the ESC for the punch, I would call it a safety issue. It has just the slightest of a delay before it'll kick in full out, right? Like, I'm the kind of person, I like to slam the throttle right away. And there's a bit of a delay there when you do that. And it's not very long. It's like, maybe 2 milliseconds or something, if that. But it's actually a good thing where the throttle punch is set because it does save you from snapping dog bones, that's for sure. And on 3S, 3S destroys even half shafts on Traxxas machines. So, 3S is going to be absolutely mental on this thing. And 2S is already mental enough. So I have nothing bad to say about that part. But you can set the throttle punch to 100% on this and have instantaneous, no delay power right away. But I'm going to leave it the way it's sitting. I'm quite comfortable with that. I'm okay with the way it's set up. There's not a lot to say bad about this. And you guys know, hey, nothing's ever perfect either, right? So, that's just the way it goes. And that's why the scores are never 5 out of 5. Okay, I can't even give any area of this as a 5 out of 5. So the whole overall is 3 3/4 out of 5. So, anyways, guys, let me know what you think. I mean, you guys have seen me doing some bashing with this. It's going to get a lot more hardcore than that as time goes on. I'm going to be doing a lot of metal upgrades to this thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the A-arms or not. Generally for basher machines you shouldn't, so I might just leave the A-arms alone, but I will be doing other upgrades. I'm still deciding between a carbon fiber chassis or the aluminum. Not made up my mind there yet. The carbon fiber looks really appealing though, but it's also expensive compared to the aluminum one. But definitely a very sick and awesome truck. I really do like it. It was money well spent. I mean, you can't get anything for that kind of money from another brand that's as good as this, in my opinion. And parts cost is so cheap. It's just crazy. I'm impressed with the cost of the parts. And they're not cheap quality parts. That's the thing. They're good quality parts for a cheap price. That's the big thing here. And I've thoroughly tested out these kind of rims because I've had that set with the white dishes on them. And so I know these rims and tires are good. And these tires do not pizza cutter very easily. In fact, I've never been able to put a full pizza into them. So, they're not hard. They're not soft. And the tread life is just amazing on these tires. So, and I've proven that from having these tires already. So I know what they're like. So this is where some things I can really say right away. This is not, going to be something new to tell you. This is like, I know these treads and they're good, and they do seem to grip extremely well in the snow, especially in my backyard. I mean, I'm not going through deep powder, but you could get some sandpaw tires for this thing. I don't see any problem with that. Standard hex size, away you go. There are a lot of aftermarket suspension options for this, wheel options, et cetera, et cetera. So you've got a lot of ability. This is not a toy grade machine. This is a hobby grade machine. And some people look, oh, $255, that can't be much of a machine. Well, yeah, it's quite a bit of a machine for $255, and it is a ton load of fun, So it's cool. I'm sure if you tried one out, you would like them, And I think I'm going to be owning a lot of HSP machines. They've got some 8 scale stuff in buggies and monster trucks that I want. They got crawlers in 8 scale and 10 scale that are really good. I'm going to give you guys a full website tour as well. Not today, maybe tomorrow or the next day. And I'll take you through their website and show you a bunch of stuff. But in the meantime, if you want, you can even browse yourself. I will actually put the link to this vehicle in the description of my video. So if you want to just click and check it out, go for it. Read more detail of what we did miss, because I didn't read everything off here, but you know, you can look more at it and then check my running videos of this machine, and you can see what I've done so far with it. But anyways, that's it. That's all. Thanks a bunch for watching and being patient, guys. I know my reviews can be lengthy, but you know I like to be detailed and to try not to miss anything or very little at all, and to give you guys the best possible options out there. I think this is a great option for a beginner. I think it's a great option for an intermediate person as well, and definitely well worth the money. It's money well spent and a boatload of fun. So till next time, catch you later.